Hello again, my sweet co-op friends. So this time we are going to be making a golden nature picture frame. And in your kit you will notice there's a plastic bag like this and with the instructions. And we got our golden frame. You'll also notice there's also some glue. This is tacky glue. It's a little bit different than white Elmer's glue. It's a little bit stronger. It's not too different, but and then you will notice a bag that has a bunch of stuff from nature in it. And I have a plate that I'm just going to dump it all on just so I can see what I have easier. There's all different things. And we got moss. There's a piece of cinnamon stick. It's not very strong. We have these beautiful flowers. They look like they're droppings from a tree, but they look like roses to me, don't they? They look like flowers. They're so pretty. And there's a bunch of little things. You'll see. There's a whole bunch of things. There might be a shell in there. There's some acorn caps. Okay, there's all sorts of fun things. And what we're going to be doing, let me just make this so you can see it better. I hope you can see that, okay? It's a little bit shiny, bright. Okay. First things first, on the back side, you're going to see these little tabs. Now, have your parent help you lift up the tabs real quick. To have them close their eyes, because this is a top secret project. This is something that they are going to be getting as a present from you. So inside of it, you're going to notice there's a couple things that I want you to take out while you're working on this. Okay, one is this plastic cover, and then one is this piece of paper, okay? And set that aside. Next thing I'm going to have you do is flip it back over, okay? Because that's going to be the side that you're going to do the gluing on. All right. Now this part is the part, well, okay, so I don't have your photos of you, a current photo of you. So parents, I need you to choose a picture of your child or children. You could even draw on this paper that's in there, and you can make a beautiful picture on here. But if you want a photo of you for your parents, for your picture frame, that's fine. You could totally do that. But I don't have it. So maybe your parents will be happy to give you one, okay? Or you can ask if you could take one of them. You could take one of them or someone in your family, and then you can have it be for your picture frame. So depending on the picture that you put in here will determine whether this is going to be standing up like that or if it's going to be on its side. So if it's going to be in portrait mode or landscape mode, okay? So I am going to assume mine's going to be in landscape. Actually, no, I'm going to do mine in portrait mode like that. I don't have a photo for mine yet either. But the picture frame is the present, so you could make it be for any picture you'd like that fits in there. That's the correct size. Now you will notice there's one thing in there that's not really from nature. It looks like it's from nature, but it's really not. You might have something like that. Pieces of your Christmas tree if you're celebrating Christmas. And I'm going to put my scissors. Oh, here they are. And these ones here are not. These are not from an actual tree. These are, believe it or not, they're plastic. But the reason I chose to do that was because I didn't know if the green would dry out okay over time. And so I decided to do this. I hope you don't mind. So I tricked you when I said it was a nature tree or nature project, didn't I? All right, so no problem. There's just a little bit of plastic, okay? But other than that, it's all nature except for the glue. All right, so as you know, we have these Q-tips for gluing, okay? You'll notice that the glue is a little bit thicker, and that's good. But for me, what I want to use, I'm going to use, see this thing right here? This is a cinnamon stick. I wish it smelled really good. It doesn't smell so good right now. It's not perfect. But I kind of wanted to have a tree down here at the bottom, so I think I'm going to use that cinnamon stick for a tree. Now, if you have other things that you would like to add for yours, other than what's in here, go for it, by all means. And you're going to notice that you have some moss in yours. I have some moss in mine as well. And I'm going to use that for the top of my tree, because I want it to look like a tree, and I don't have anything else in here that will work to make a little tree. So this is what's going to be my tree. I'm just adding a bunch of glue. And I'm just going to put the moss right above it so it'll look kind of like a tree. Now, it may or may not look like a tree, but that's kind of what I'm going for. We'll see if it looks like one after. Now, of course, it's not perfect. It's not a perfect tree, but hopefully it will work. It might look like more like a tree later. See there? That's cute. Okay. It doesn't have to look like anything. You could just glue stuff on however you'd like, and that's perfectly okay. I kind of wish I would have sent home more sticks to make more trees or something, but that's all right, because we have other great stuff to put on here. I also, you'll notice these, like I said earlier, we have these little things that look like flowers. I'm going to put one over here. Should I put them on top? Or should I put one on the bottom too? I think I will do, I'll put this one over here. That works. Or should I do it opposite? Maybe I'll do it opposite. See, that's the beauty. Sometimes it's a good idea to lay stuff down on your page, on your, whatever you're making, just to make sure that it's just what you're thinking it will be. So like I'm going to trim up my little piece of fake evergreens here because I want to make it look sort of more like, I want it to fit better on here. So I'm going to just kind of trim it up a little bit. You can do that too. You're going to notice if you do trim it up at all, you're going to notice there's wire underneath it. So you don't really want to get to the wire. I'm even going to flatten it a little bit on the back side. But make sure you do that over a plate or a tray or something so that you can catch all the little pieces. You don't want them flying all over the place and make a big mess. Alright, so there's that so far. Alright, now, did I trim it enough? I really want to make it so it looks more like a tree, but I might even add some of the moss to this as well. Okay, so there. It kind of looks like cactus, doesn't it? I think it looks like cactus a lot. Cactus is that very spiky plant that you see in the desert. Or you might see it in someone's garden, because sometimes people have cactus in their garden. Even though it's not very hot. Cactus loves it where it's hot. It could survive without water for a long, long time. Isn't that amazing? Alright, does that look like cactus? I don't really want it. I wasn't originally planning on having something look like cactus, but that's alright. I kind of like the balance, but I think I want to put it over here, down here. You know why? Because I want it to look like a tree more, even though it looks like cactus. I'm going to get my glue, and I am going to put it right on here. I'm just going to glob it on, because this thing is a little bit awkward, and it kind of needs a good amount of glue. I'm even going to put it on the flat. Remember I trimmed the back side a little to make it more flat? Make sure you put glue on that side if you could. Not this, the bushier side. That's if you even use this. You don't even have to use all the pieces. That's the other thing. You don't even have to do what I'm doing. I mean, please don't do what I'm doing. Do whatever you want to do. Some of the kids probably will just glue the pieces on however they want. Hopefully, that's what you will be doing. I'm only doing it on the back side of this because of the awkward shape of it and the texture of it. So there, I have that on there. Now, I won't be able to show you too much. Ah! These were just laying there. They weren't glued yet. See, it's kind of like that so far. It's pretty. I like it. Now, should I add a little bit of moss on the top of this one? Do you think that'll look out of place? I don't know. I guess only one way to find out. And I sure hope I gave you all enough glue. It doesn't, you don't have to use tacky glue. I just chose to use tacky glue because I thought maybe some of the pieces would be heavier. I just don't know. Oh, you know what I should have done, and maybe you will want to do this, actually. This was something I should have thought of before I did this part, is using one of these roses, or these rose-looking things, for the top of this green thing, because then that would have looked like a flower. That could have worked. But this is going to be mine. Still, I'm going to have moss on mine. I don't mind having moss. I think it's going to be beautiful. Now, if you need more moss than that, oops, like I'm going to add more moss than this on my tree because I want it to have a little bit more bushiness. So I'm just going to add some more. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding some of those other items. I have, you might want to lay it out on your frame first. Since I found only one shell on mine. Actually, no, I have 2 shells. Some of you might only have 1 shell. If you only have 1 shell, then you're going to definitely want to center it or put it, well, no, you don't definitely want to center it. You're going to put it wherever you want. I don't know why I just said you definitely, because I didn't mean it. You're going to put it wherever you want. I'm putting it inside of this shell because when I turn it over and put it here, it is probably going to hold on better because it'll just drip out right onto the frame. And the shell is a little bit heavier, so it's going to need enough of that glue. And then I think I'm just going to add a few just random pieces of nature. I'm just going to do it here and here. And who knows, maybe I will do it here. I'm probably going to just use one of those roses. I don't think I'm going to use both of them, even though they're so beautiful. Actually, you know what I am going to do? I'm moving my... Sorry. You could do that too. You could change your mind if you want to do something different. I moved my shell to the top. And I think I'm going to put the rose at the very bottom because it's so big and I just think it might look better balanced right on the bottom instead. It's just me. I know I talk a lot sometimes in these videos and I apologize. I don't mean to. I want the smaller of the two. This one I think is. These special things came from Miss Marisa. She found these on her walk one day. So we'll be sure and say thank you to Miss Marisa for this wonderful part of this project. I think I need more glue than that on the back. Shoot, I hope I sent you home with enough glue because I'm noticing that I'm using mine up really quick. All right. Well, I already put a bunch of glue on my page, so that's all right. So there's that. I'm adding some of these. Ah, there's the phone. Well, do you know I meant to have the phone over here? Sorry, kids. Sorry. Please forgive me for running away like that for a moment. Anyways, I was almost done too, right? I think I'm just going to do it like this. I added extra glue in this spot because I thought I was going to put one of those heavy things. So I think I'm going to take it off. You might not want to do what I just did with my finger because it will make a big mess on your hand. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to add this here. Now, one thing that I did that you might want to do differently is not add the glue until you know exactly what you're putting there. So that I put it on here too soon, I think, in a couple spots. And that's too bad. That's all right. I think it'll be fine. All right. I am going to use one of these other Q-tips here for a couple of the items. There's some more things that you have on yours than what I put on mine. There are some acorn caps, like I said earlier. There's also these pretty things. These little, I don't know what those are. I forget. But they're very pretty. I'm going to put one right here, sort of off to the side. I think there's two of those, so I think I'm going to balance mine and put it like sort of on opposite sides of each other. Let's see. Anything else I need on mine? Sure looking pretty. So there. A little nature frame. I'm going to put a little acorn cap at the bottom. If I would have really thought about some of the supplies that I have right here, I would have thought about making that acorn cap into something fun, like a little person, using it as a little hat. That would be fun. All right, I'm pretty much almost done. Now, the other part of this project is, like I said, it's a present, right? So that you're going to be giving to your mom and dad, or to somebody that you love, maybe your grandma or grandpa, whoever. Maybe a friend. It's up to you. But, or you can keep it if you really don't want to give it as a gift. But if you do want to give it as a gift, I have something else in your bag for you, and it is something for wrapping it. Okay, so but you have to wait for it to dry, of course. Once it's dry, you're going to either, once it's dry, you're going to put this back in it with the plastic part. Remember the part that we took out in the beginning? This part here, put that in there. You're going to put this part first from the back side. Okay, when it's dry, you're going to put it in this side. Then you're going to put the cardboard. Now remember, the cardboard may have a picture that you draw. If you want it to be a photo, then you're going to find the photo that fits, and it's going to be standing up like this. If your picture is standing up, if there's a for sure up part, mine's going to be like that, right? It's like, but yours may be sideways, might be landscape. And if that's the case, make sure that your photo, whatever you make that goes inside, is going that way. Okay, so it's either going to be like that or like that. So if you draw a photo, you can do it on this cardboard, and you can be working on that while it's drying if you want. And then after this is on, right, and attached, you're going to have your parent or somebody put the tabs back. There's those little tabs again. I'll show you these little tabs on the back side. So I got to be very careful because everything's still drying. You see those little metal pieces back here? Right. Then, once it's dry, you're going to see that there's some wrapping. There's some tissue paper here. You're going to open it up, wrap your present. Okay, you're going to wrap it up in there, and then and there's a special little bag. Some of you will have a bag like this. Some of you might have a bag like this, sort of like that. Okay, and then you're going to open it up and put your present inside of the bag, and you're going to make them a card, okay? And some of them might have a little piece attached to it that you can make a card with, or if it doesn't, then you're just going to make it from scratch, okay? And that should be easy enough because you're all very creative. All right, that's it. Project number 2 for the co-op home families. Okay. I love you. Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy everything. Anything that you celebrate. Happy winter solstice. And almost Happy New Year. Can you believe it's almost New Year? That's crazy. I'm happy about that because 2020 has been a little bit of a different kind of a year, but the best part about it has been sharing some of these projects with all of you. So I hope that you're doing great and enjoy a little bit of a break. We're going to be taking a break during the holidays to be with our family. But yeah, that's it. Actually, I think I'm going to do one bonus project. How about that? Bonus project coming right up. Okay, bye. Take care. Love you, sweet friends.